The Black Boy Who Sued the Klan. One child, one lawsuit. One historic defeat for the KKK. Picture this. It's 1981 in Mobile, Alabama. A teenage boy named Michael Donald is walking home unaware that his life is in danger. Two men, white supremacists from the Ku Klux Klan, are circling the neighborhood in a car, looking for a black person to kill. Before the night is over, Michael's body will be hanging from a tree, the latest victim in a cycle of racial violence stretching back more than a century. His mother, Beulah Mae Donald, is left with nothing but grief and a burning desire for justice. She does something no one expects. She takes the Klan to court, sues them for millions, and cripples their organization in a way law enforcement never dared to. But this is not just the story of one family. This is the story of how America has allowed organizations like the Klan to operate for generations without real consequences. The long shadow of the Ku Klux Klan. Founded in 1865 by former Confederate soldiers in Pulaski, Tennessee, the Ku Klux Klan positioned itself as the violent enforcer of white supremacy in America. Their mission was clear: terrorize newly freed black people, stop them from voting, and keep them economically and socially oppressed. The Klan's tactics were brutal. Beatings, arson, and lynchings became their signature moves. Lynchings were public executions carried out by mobs, often without trial or legal process. Black men, women, and even children were tortured and killed, sometimes burned alive, sometimes mutilated, while white crowds watched, took photographs, and even handed out body parts as souvenirs. These acts of terror were designed to send a message. Freedom might be written into law, but it would never be fully granted in practice. Jim Crow laws in the South made sure of that. From the late 1800s through the mid-1900s, these laws legalized segregation in schools, transportation, and public spaces. Black people were denied the right to vote through poll taxes, literacy tests, and outright violence. The Klan operated alongside these laws, reinforcing them with terror. Police often looked the other way, or worse, joined in. Judges, mayors, and sheriffs were sometimes members themselves. Even after the civil rights movement of the 1960s, the Klan didn't disappear. It simply went underground, rebranding itself through different chapters and splinter groups. By the 1980s, the United Klans of America was the largest and most active Klan organization in the country. It was this organization that sanctioned the lynching of Michael Donald in 1981. Lynching in the modern era. Many Americans like to believe that lynching is a thing of the past, but the reality is more complicated. The methods have changed, but the results are the same. Black lives are still being taken without justice. Take the case of James Byrd Jr. in 1998, a black man in Jasper, Texas, who was chained to the back of a pickup truck by white supremacists and dragged for miles until his body was torn apart. Or consider Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man who was hunted down and shot while jogging in Georgia in 2020. Both cases were modern-day lynchings carried out by men who believed they had the right to take black lives without consequence. Police violence has also been called the new form of lynching. Cases like Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and countless others have sparked national protests because they reveal a pattern: black people killed by those in power, with justice delayed or denied. Organizations like the Ku Klux Klan may have lost their official power after lawsuits like Beulah Mae Donald's, but the ideology they promoted still lives on. From organized hate groups to systemic racism in policing, housing, and the courts, the machinery of white supremacy continues to adapt and survive. The lawsuit that brought down the Klan. When Beulah Mae Donald decided to take the United Klans of America to court, she wasn't just seeking personal justice, she was striking at the heart of an organization responsible for generations of terror. With the help of attorneys Michael Figures and Morris Dees of the Southern Poverty Law Center, she filed a wrongful death lawsuit that became one of the most important legal cases in civil rights history. In 1987, a jury awarded her $7 million in damages. The Klan couldn't pay. They had to surrender their assets, including their national headquarters. The verdict didn't just punish the two men who killed Michael. It bankrupted the entire organization, sending shockwaves through hate groups across the country. A legacy that still matters today. Beulah Mae Donald's victory showed the world that hate groups can be held accountable, not just in criminal court, but financially and organizationally. But her story also serves as a reminder that the fight is far from over. The structures that allowed the Klan to thrive for over a century are still embedded in American society. From racially motivated violence to legal systems that fail to protect black lives, the legacy of white supremacy is far from dead. Michael Donald's story was brought back to public attention through the 2021 CNN docuseries, The People v. the Klan, reminding the world that justice is possible when ordinary people refuse to back down. Sources: Scope News tells the truth. Here are the facts. Special thanks to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the CNN docuseries, The People v. the Klan, historical court records, and investigative journalism from respected outlets that have preserved this story. We honor Beulah Mae Donald's legacy and every family that continues to fight for justice. Scope News. Legal disclaimer. This content is presented for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Scope News strives to provide factual, well-researched content, but recognizes the limitations of historical records, media coverage, and legal documentation. Viewer discretion is advised. Scope News does not promote violence or division. We highlight these stories to bring attention to systemic injustice and inspire accountability. We thank every viewer who takes the time to understand the historical and ongoing struggles for civil rights in America. This is Scope News, where the truth deserves to be told.